Welcome.
Bienvenidos, bienvenidas.
Willkommen.
Ahla wa sahla to breakfast together.
Hello, hello. Hello, everyone.
Buongiorno.
United.
Hola, buenos días.
Добрый день.
Bom dia.
How is everyone doing today? Sunday morning, episode 26. Oh my god.
After 1 year, right? We had recently the celebration.
Yeah, moving towards the second one.
Yes, and more fun, with more episodes, more interesting topics. Not that let's be honest. We had already a lot of interesting topics, right? Food.
And today is super interesting topic. Oh, food. But no, today we're going to be eating, but eating on some words and phrases, aren't we?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about our favorites. As everybody knows, we are all of us language learners, and actually we speak different languages and we learn different languages. So we're gonna be a variety of phrases. So we're gonna talk about our favorite phrases.
Yeah.
From the languages that we speak.
So we are all polyglots, and sometimes in certain episodes we remember about that.
Right.
Actually,
yes, thanks for explanation.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did. I came to the conclusion that the reason why I'm mixing languages, and I'm not justifying myself at the moment, absolutely not. I know it annoys a lot of people, but it is genuinely the way which other languages are bringing you just a more exact definition of something that is happening. And a certain language has a perfect description of that action or whatever. And you just find yourself using what suits best. And that is, I think, it happens to probably all of us, is that there are some phrases that are so good that they just fit so well. Do you have the same?
Not a great introduction to the topic, Asia. We have it a lot. I think most of the Greeks of our generation, for example, have it a lot with English phrases, actually. We have to actually use English very often because it just fits so well. And we don't have like a Greek word off the top of our head.
Yeah, because there is
see this example.
Right. There is a Greek word, but we don't use them so often, right? Like with this internalization and all these like social media that everywhere you use English, it's what Telemacho said. We normally like use English words.
I feel like English is such a like default language. I feel like a computer, that by default it's English, right? In the sense that when I was thinking about some phrases that, I was thinking about the episode and I was thinking about the phrases and I haven't thought about any English phrase or any English thing.
Me neither.
Use.
Not.
Can you imagine this? It's so interesting. I mean, yeah, but
it actually took me a while to figure out the English phrases for this episode because I kept thinking of Greek ones. I have a huge list of Greek phrases. I don't want to make it all about us again.
but
let's just dive into this then. Yeah, Tila, do you want to go like with the first one? Because let's just dive into this. I'm sure we have a lot, and it will probably take a while to explain to our listeners what particular phrases and words may mean.
Sure, I can start. I wanted to go to, as I said, like also other languages, but as we say in Greek, αν δεν πενέψουμε το σπίτι μας, θα πέσει να μας πλακώσει, which means if you don't praise your own home, it's going to fall on your head.
Okay.
Wow.
And this is my first phrase.
Is that one of your favorite ones? Do you use them in your daily life?
I don't use it so often. I've been using it a bit more lately because, I don't know, I like most of these phrases, some kind of wisdom or describe a situation really nicely.
As we get older,
when we speak together in Greek, you don't use any of these words. It is phrases.
Some of them
is like, I have never heard you using that phrase.
Yeah, exactly, right.
But
wait a second.
We don't speak in Greek with Dimi. We have so many languages, so it's we're switching all the time.
Okay.
You guys are cheating.
Another one I like is έξω από το χορό πολλά τραγούδια λέγονται, which means outside of the dance, many songs are sung. And it's usually used when, you are criticizing somebody who's in a difficult situation and you're not in that situation. So it's easy for you to do that. But yeah, you're out of the dance. So
Good to know.
you can do that.
Good to know. I didn't know about that.
Sorry?
Good to know. I didn't know that.
I think
Okay,
I think after this episode,
Fake Greek.
after this episode, Tilly is going to get a new nickname, which is going to be Mr. Proverb.
this actually brings me to my next proverb, which is actually a quote from Socrates. But I hope you know it, Timmy. This is "en είδα ότι ουδέν είδα."
Of course, yeah. I mean, we've been taught about this in the school,
Yeah, that's true.
so you have to know it.
Which is like, means I know one thing that I know nothing. And it's basically about how the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
that you don't
Yeah,
know.
all I know is that I don't know.
Yeah.
This
And-
is a famous one. Yeah.
Another one that is I also really like is "Όσο δεν φτάνει αλεπού, τα κάνει κρεμαστάρια," which means this is a very wise one, and I like it. It's from Aesop's Tales, The Fox and the Grapes, and apparently in English it's called sour grapes, but it literally is translated to the grapes the fox doesn't reach. She calls them sour. And I'm sure, like you ladies have been in this situation, for example, where like a guy is like hitting on you in a bad way, and when you reject him, he starts saying, "Oh, but I never liked your nose," or whatever, And this describes exactly like Aesop
just
was
call-
describing this
I call it very quick.
millennia ago.
This is bastardos. This is what I call this type of behavior. You can just use a
but
short one.
this is unfortunately, especially online, unfortunately, this is very common. Yeah,
True.
totally. Yeah.
It doesn't only happen when, like, in this situation, but it's a very common behavior, and I really like that it's summed up in such a nice short phrase.
Relatable. Yeah.
Yes.
So, Demahe, do you have any non?
Yeah, no, I have like 5 more Greek ones, but I have to stop somehow, So for English, actually, I have I thought of 3. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, we have the same in Russian.
Okay. We don't have any Greek, so every time I have to just say it in English. Say it. For those who don't know, it means that when somebody brings you a gift, don't complain about minor details or whatever, because it's a gift. Come on.
And
Or if
in
somebody does something for you, obviously, which
exactly,
is sort of for free, then you shouldn't complain about the quality of it. Maybe the quality of that
Exactly.
action.
in Russian, we say "дареному коню в зубы не смотрят."
It's the same. It's the same like with the horse as well.
Absolutely the same. Yeah, it's
Oh, wow.
they're hanging out together, English and Russian horse.
Best horse friends. Then I have get your act together. That's a nice one I like to use. And to cry over spilled milk. Because we don't have any of these in Greek, so I really like them. because I use them in English.
I don't know the last one. What does it mean? I haven't heard about the last
So
one.
it basically means it's don't cry over spilled milk. So it's already done.
Like something
It's
that is
got,
done.
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
What's done is done.
Don't cry, but like
Right.
don't complain about it. Just work on fixing it and move on.
Right.
What's
Não
done is done.
adianta chorar sobre o leite derramado.
Oh, here we
The
go.
same.
Leite derramado. I was actually wanted to ask which milk. Soy?
And I also have a German one that I like to use. Well, not to use.
This is a rare guest on this podcast, even though the two of the members
Live in Germany.
That's why I wanted to find also one like that. It's ein Fass ohne Boden, which means a barrel without a bottom. And it's usually when you have like
You drink a lot.
a lot of problems that are like showing up, or you want to go to solve one problem and you find like a lot of them, and it does.
It's like a black hole.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Either like somebody drinks a lot, right? That you drink and you that's like go.
Yeah. It could be also like a dream, like just.
No dream, drink. Like when you drink a lot, like in Greece they say that like you don't have like the next pato. Το ποτήρι χωρίς
I
πάτο.
get it.
Do we say it in Greek?
Yes, we say that.
I don't know, but
When
you have a
it
dish
lies-
about the drinking proverbs. They may.
You're like, I have never been in that
mean-
situation.
Indeed. Now that you said about like a German one, I have another one. I brought one, which I really like, and I think it's one of the most famous Redewendung. I think it's called in German. It's the Ich verstehe nur Bahnhof, which means
verstehe.
like I don't understand anything. Yeah, exactly. Or you can say if I stand in Bahnhof when you don't understand anything about what is said, and it's actually I've heard about that in a podcast, and there is an origin. I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that it probably originated from the First World War when the soldiers were they were like they had the idea of, okay, I don't want to fight anymore. I want to go back home, and the only transport mean to go back home was the trains. So they were like, I understand only Bahnhof.
Ah.
So Bahnhof is, so people they don't know, Bahnhof is the train station in German. So they wanted to go back home, and they just they didn't care about any other thing, just to go back home. With the whole phrase means like understand only train station, which it doesn't make so much sense. But with this explanation, might make some
Probably
sense.
it was the only word they knew and the only word they had to use. They're like Bahnhof,
Yes,
Bahnhof,
yes.
Bahnhof, Bahnhof.
Bahnhof, Bahnhof. And there's another one, actually, German one that I found interesting is the Jetzt geht die Wurst, which means now it goes like the translation is like now it's all about the sausage, and the explanation is like
The Germans
yeah,
and their
like
sausages.
Germans, right?
Beer sausages.
Beer sausages, yeah,
worst.
and it means like it's now or never. So you do it now or never.
But why now and never?
There is there is no explanation.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's like
just because Germans,
the sausage
they
has to
like
be
beers.
always now, I guess. Never, never.
Maybe.
Either you eat it or not. You eat it
Yeah.
while it's hot.
Beep.
You want the sausage or not?
Actually, this reminds me of another German phrase, which is "Das ist mir Wurst," which means it's
awesome.
sausage to me, which means I don't
sausage
care
to me.
about it. It's not very funny.
I thought that they
How
cared
can
about
you-
their sausages.
So
That's the thing.
disrespectful towards the sausage, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
Thinking about the sausages, I don't know why suddenly they're offending them like that.
But I'm sure there is like a lot of interesting also in Russian and Turkish. Like, do you have any example? Or
Actually, I'm sure Irena has. I know Irena has a lot of really, really nice Russian phrases because she uses them a lot. And I could even like respond
Yeah.
for her. But
I
come on, sell us something because every single time we meet at the polyglot events, either it's a conference or it's a gathering, I'm going through this like levin of like ambush of like phrases in by Irena, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Come on.
I was when you suggested the topic, I wrote in the chat like, man, like I don't know about the phrases, and then I actually gave it like a deep thought, and then I thought that okay, so in most languages, and this is like I want to bring also the general discussion, not only that like let's name the phrases, but let's also discuss of the usage, and like different languages and how they use them. So in my experience, there are all languages have set phrases and expressions. Okay, no exception. So some of them use it a lot, and some of them not that much. So, for example, Norwegian, in my opinion, is a language that, of course, has a lot, but I don't find that they use it that much. And then all the Slavic languages, like in my experience, that there are so many, and I want to get back to you, Asa, because you also like when we meet, you also use a lot of Polish phrases, and I mean, my Polish is not that good, so I don't know like a lot of them, but it's always so fun to listen to you, and they're always like really funny ones. And so this gives me an idea that or other Slavic languages also have like kind of rich world. Now there are many phrases that are like set phrases, so not necessarily anything idiomatic, but just like a set of words that languages use. And also I have to mention another language that is Arabic. Like now I'm working on my Arabic and I watch Lebanese series, and my God, like the idiomatic expressions there are endless, like they use it like I'm watching a series now, it has 58 episodes, and almost in every single episode there is like at least one or two new ones. Like it's just amazing.
Are you
And
talking about the compliment ones? Because like
No,
this is
no,
what I
different.
liked about Arabic. Like I heard they have a lot of a lot of kind of compliments. Like I'll give you the
Like
tears of
Turkish
my
as
that
eyes,
that
with the
also
water, or some very poetic stuff like that.
Yeah, that also, but not only. Also, when one is angry or anything else. But speaking of which, good that you mentioned that. My favorite one in Arabic, which is like the first thing that came to my mind, if you ask someone to do something, the person can reply to min ayuni, which means from my two eyes. Like, of course, I would do it for you. I would be so happy to do it for you. You know, like I don't know why they say it, but
It's so interesting because in Turkish there's also a thing that I constantly, not constantly, but quite often use, also related to the eyes, but it's not related to help, but to something that you're going to do with like very little patience because you want that. So it's also very positive. It's like dört gözle bekliyorum, which is interesting because it says dört gözle bekliyorum. It's like waiting with my four eyes. I don't know what for. I don't know why is it for. I don't know why. Probably it's because it's so like you're waiting for something so much. You're so impatient that it's even four eyes, right? But it's interesting
Okay.
that in Arabic and in Turkish there is like the eye connection
Yeah.
of like some very
But
extreme
also,
expression.
I've
Let's say.
heard about the third eye, but four eyes is something new. That's I've never heard before.
Right?
I mean, in Greek, with eyes, we say it, for example, a lot as when you call somebody sweetheart. Very often you
Yeah.
say my eyes,
Matamo.
like how are you, my
Ah.
eyes, or like
Yes.
Yeah, in
yeah,
Arabic there is something
It's like
similar.
yeah.
it's like a mother normally
Typically,
calls
yeah,
you.
yeah. I don't know if it's
I don't think that you call your girlfriend or boyfriend Matiamo so much. It's like like the mother to the sons
yeah,
of the
like
kids.
it's more like a parent to child kind of thing. I don't know how
Yeah.
it is, if it's a generational thing, but we also say like the matiamu, like my eyes all the time.
I feel that there should be a different episode on all the endearments, because also I
Oh
know that
yeah.
Greek has a lot. I had a friend, he was married to a Greek girl, and then she was saying to him, like, he was telling me with the sweetest, accent ever, like, my caramel, my star, my chocolate, and so she was translating everything from Greek into English, very sweet. But back to the Russian phrases that the public is so eagerly waiting. So first of all, like, not only that I love them, I love also translating them into other languages. So I feel that there is so much wisdom that the world has to know, and then it makes absolutely no sense in other languages. But what I do is that I translate, and then of course I explain the meaning. So what I did, like, I did a small experiment. We agreed about the topic about 2 weeks ago. So during these 2 weeks, I was observing what I was saying to people. So these are the ones I actually
Mashallah, kızım, mashallah.
yeah, you
Mashallah.
see, this is what I call preparation. So we have Надежда умирает последней, and this is a nice one.
It's so true.
Yeah, the hope dies last. I actually used it at work because there was like a
Yeah.
lady who wanted her brother to come to her wedding, and I said, I don't think it will happen, but I said, but Надежда умирает последней. The hope dies last. So
Let's give Nadezhda one more chance.
and then we have первый блин комом, which is it's a nice one. I think it's also often used. It means that the first pancake always comes out a bad one. It means that you do something for the first time and don't expect it to turn out well. Which is like like kind of lower your expectations.
Which, sorry, very sorry, I would just like to put on top of this, as we are talking about Polish as well, praktyka czyni mistrza, which means
Yeah.
practice makes perfect, right, in Polish. But it actually means literally practice makes champions. So it's continuing that thing.
Nice. I like that.
This is a phrase that is also common in many other languages, in its own variants. And then there is one called "Na ptiчих правах." This is such a weird one, right? Like, but my mom and I use it all the time on birds' rights, which means that you don't have any rights. Like, why poor birds don't have rights, and why is it birds and not cats or horses? I don't know.
Birds are better off than many, many other animals. So I don't know.
Exactly,
They can just
because they
fly
can
away.
fly. I don't know. And the last one in Russian is Жаба давит.
Oh,
the
I love
frog-
it.
Yeah, the
Love
frog is choking you, which means that you are greedy. So you can say like "Что жаба давит?" So like, is the frog choking you? Like, is it so hard for you to do? You don't want to pay for that. Are you greedy?
Yeah.
What kind of frogs do you have up there?
And they're big.
Yeah,
Good
I
name.
love it, guys, that you explained it in details. Like this comes from that. Like I don't even have any origin of anything of this. And then I just want to add like two last things. In Norwegian, so we do not completely avoid this language. They say something. I posted it in the group chat, which is helt taxes. And that is like when something is absolutely crazy, not someone, but something, like a party or a situation, or you can ask like, how was it, and you can say, det var helt Texas. So it was absolutely Texas. Like, you know,
Texas.
Norwegians think that it is some kind of like absolutely crazy place.
Yes, you mentioned that in the channel, right? I was,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
about that
So it's
again. I
weird
was
that
like,
Norwegians take stuff from other countries
Right.
in a very random
Pizza.
way, bring
Yeah,
it
pizza.
into Norway
Yeah. They have
somehow,
they
like
have a lot. They have a lot of
tacos,
places like
horror
that.
films. Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, like, it's a small country, so they feel, let's just say, inspired by other countries. And to conclude, Russian also, it is so complex when it comes to the phrases, because we have a lot of idiomatic. All the ones that I mentioned, they're pretty old ones, I feel like. But also we have a separate category, which is phrases from the movies. And that is just endless. It is mostly Soviet movies,
I
and
guess.
then like people keep quoting them, and like everyone knows. And this is us also knows that like I
Yeah.
say a lot of them a
Life
lot.
hack how to differentiate millennials from Gen Z. Millennials are still using the Soviet movies quotes in Russian, but Gen Z is not anymore.
Exactly, they don't even know most of those movies, but I think that they're so wonderful, and it's also like kind of like when you mention someone and the person gets it, and then you're like, yeah. I don't know, I can mention a few. Asa, also you can contribute. Фамилия моя слишком известная, чтобы ее называть.
Translation?
Yeah, my last name. Well, my last name is too famous to be named.
Nice. Sassy. I like it.
Yeah.
Very
And
sassy.
then like it's just endless, really. And I think that I will stop here for now. And now the your turn, Mrs. Anastasia.
I actually wanted DB to contribute because I feel like he's keeping some secrets, and I can wrap up with my
look in
2
his
or 3
eyes.
favorites, and
I also
I'll
I don't have
I'll
lot
have a
on my list.
justification to keep it short.
Thank you, first of all. Thank you, Asia, for the pass. Yeah, I have actually brought three that I like. One is one of my favorite. It's come from Chilean Spanish, and it's "Tanda la moto," which means like stop which is very colloquial, and it's like stop
The bike?
the bike or the motor, like the motorbike, which means like hold on, like chill out, slow down. So it's like means like stop the bike and let's say come down from the bike.
I like
I really like
hold your
that.
horses in English.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Exactly.
A more modern version.
Yeah, of course.
Different mode of transportations, clearly.
Right. The other one that is from, I think it's mostly used in Spain, Spanish from Peninsula, which is estoy hasta las narices or narices.
Up
And
until the
it's-
nose.
Yes, like in Greece, I think we don't normally say that. We say like I am μέχρι εδώ, but we don't say where you are.
Έφτασα μέχρι εδώ.
Yeah, έφτασα μέχρι εδώ, which means like I reach until here, which we don't really name where.
Yeah, like we showed with their hand.
We have the same in Polish. We have mam cię pod dziurki w nosie. I have you until the holes in my nose. It's exactly the same
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah, isn't it the same in German? Ich habe die Nase voll.
Ah, yeah, it's true.
No,
True.
this is like something different, right? Have the Nazi fall.
I'm like,
Could
it's
be.
like I'm tired of it. It's like I've had
Yeah,
enough.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then I have another two friends. Ones that lately I'm focusing on improving my friends, and I came across two. One is the je suis en Grenoble Bleu. It means like it's like I'm a Grenoble Bleu, the translation, but it means that I'm like really good with cooking something. And the other one, which is favorite one, because it's kind of explain the situation, is like discuter de la pluie de beau temps. It means small talk when you do like a small talk, and it means the translation is like you discuss about the bad weather or like the rain and the sun. And it's I really find it fascinating because it's when you do a small talk, you just talk about trivial stuff, significant things. So it's explained exactly the same. I just read that and I was like, yes, that's how I should call small talk, not small talk. I like that.
We had this in the chat where in Greek we
Yes.
say perianemon και υδάτων.
Right, but that
about-
doesn't fit so well, right?
I think perianemon και υδάτων is like more. It sounds very fancy because it's like old Greek, and it kind of. But I think it means you just talk about any kind of random topic,
Yeah.
but not necessarily small talk, but just any
Yeah.
kind of topic. It means
Right.
also to talk about winds and waters.
Yeah.
I don't think we have an equivalent. Now that I'm thinking about it, doesn't come to my mind.
Doesn't ring a bell to me. But you know, after guys listening to all of you, one comes to my mind that I constantly use in Italian, and it is a not a naughty version, because there is another version of this, which is
Okay.
obviously after listening to all of you, somebody can say, "Ah, non capisco un cavolo," like I don't understand a cabbage. But
yes.
obviously, cavolo is the usually the other word. But
Yeah.
obviously, if we want to be more polite, which is still very informal, but as you guys know, I love informal speech. So yeah, if you feel like you don't capisco un cavolo, it's fine. Listen to the episode once again. Try to make some notes and maybe comment on some of the stuff that you've heard, and maybe propose some of your phrases. I will, with your permission, wrap it up with my favorite phrase I use constantly, and I always talk about that phrase. It's in Turkish, and I do not know any other language that has that phrase. It is not actually a proverb. It's just a phrase to use in everyday life. It sounds, it's kolay gelsin, so kolay gelsin. And
You've mentioned
You
that.
use it
It
a lot
means-
of times, yeah.
yeah, I use it constantly, and I use it every day here in Turkey. I use it pretty much every time I'm with Turkish people or something like that, because it literally means easy come to you, which means that whatever you're doing, whatever you are busy with, I wish your work would be easy. So it's not about luck. Hey, good luck with your whatever project. It's about, there is a struggle coming. It's difficult, but you just wish that person to, to finish it quickly. And why I like it is because I've noticed that in many situations that I would like to say something, and I don't know what to say because thank you doesn't suit. For example, you're very easy thing. You come to the airport, you're in the toilet, and there's always some kind of a cleaner, or anywhere in the toilet there's a cleaner, or somebody who cleans the streets. I would always like to, show my appreciation to the work these people are doing, but like coming to them and saying, hello, thank you, kind of is weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you pass people like this on the street, somebody who's collecting the rubbish, somebody who's cleaning the toilet, you can always say kolay gelsin, and they always say, çok teşekkür ederim, abla, teşekkürler. It's really nice. And one more situation that I always get myself sort of saved from is whenever I go alone somewhere, sometimes there are very nosy and really curious construction workers that are, looking at the girl passing by.
Very diplomatic way to put it out, yeah.
Yeah, they may stare or something, and the stare is like a bit weird. And I just turn to them and like, kolay gelsin, and they're like, oh, thank you. So they feel kind of embarrassed. They're like, oops.
And they're like, shit, yeah, we're at work. Right.
Yeah, like, oops, click back. And yeah. So kolay gelsin, by far my favorite. I wish other languages had this type of phrase so we can use it in a more, everywhere really. But yeah.
What a great phrase. I was mentioning to before that Arabic has a very similar phrase, which is yatik al to a man, or yatiki al to a woman. And you can do it, this can be used as a greeting, but also, as you mentioned, it can be used as an appreciation. And
same
it can also be used in the beginning and in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's very functional. You can use it anytime, entering the shop, exiting the shop.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the reply to yatik al is Allah yafiki, because Arabic phrases normally always have a reply. Having said that, yatikum, plural, al-afiyah, for listening to this episode.
Mashallah, people, well done.
Yay. And
See you in the
the
next one.
gathering is approaching very, very soon. We're so excited.
Oh yeah, see you. Who are we seeing in Brno, Czech Republic?
Actually, this episode will be the last episode before that we will publish before the gathering.
Yeah, And we are really, really excited about this. We're excited about seeing each other. We're excited about seeing you. And we really hope to, have some chat, have some small talk over there
everyone.
with
Yep.
you.
Yeah, please come and reach out to us in person with your feedback and any comments that you might have about the podcast.
Or
I'm so excited.
about any other topic.
And I just can't.
Or if you would like to be a guest in our podcast, you can also come and talk to us.
Definitely.
Yes, please.
With a
do.
beer. You can come with a beer and then we're definitely going to be a visitor.
Are you asking for a bribe?
I don't know.
No, there is no corruption in this podcast.
Yes, exactly. Right. That was it. So.
All right. Baci e abbracci.
Bye bye, everyone. Thank you. Hasta luego.
Besitos. Have a nice Sunday. See you in... No.
Besitos. Goodbye, guys.